Hello YouTube, this is Silver Age Dave. Today is Thursday. I'm doing a little bit of work in the comic room and I thought I'd do a support shout out video for Go-To Geeks. Now, normally I try to do these in order of operation, but I just felt overwhelmed. I've got so much to share. They've got a really cool contest. Let's look at it. What they want you to do is they want you to be 18 plus or minus. They want you to sub. Video, comment, and link is always a good idea. I will put a link to their contest video, so it's always best to watch their whole video so you know what you're doing. But basically, they're asking an easy thing. They want you to show 5 comic-related collectibles or show 5 comic books. So what I thought is I'm going to show off some collectibles. Now, in their contest video, Lawrence pointed out something that I had shown a while ago, a fairly new acquisition I got from my buddy Brad at Floatsome. He does video games, comics, albums, does all kinds of collectibles. I love his shop, and I picked this thing up, so I thought I'd show it off. Lawrence pointed it out that he really liked it. He didn't know it existed. Metarog knew all about it, but I'm going to show this off. This is a Batman and Robin pennant from 1966. And Metarog said there were some different color combinations of this, but this is the one I absolutely love. My buddy picked this up somewhere, I don't even know where, and he gave it to me for a price that was just unbelievable. So thank you, Brad. Lawrence, that's another look at it. I'm going to get up close as I can and show that off. I can't get too close because of the way I have the camera. But we're going to start number 1 with the Batman and Robin pennant from 1966. We'll just set that right in there. Number 2, I've had some people ask me if I own any original comic art, and you know, it's one of those areas that I wasn't with it enough as a kid to buy comic art. I don't know a lot of people who were, but this is some art from Aaron Lopresti from Captain Marvel. This is, let me see, issue number 21, page 8. All right, I'm just going to set that there momentarily. And this is the actual comic book that came out of. Now, this particular art I found online. I was searching for some other things, and this showed up for so cheap I couldn't believe it. So there's the actual page right there. So I do have a little bit of comic art, not any of the, you know, the Kirby, Ditko, real expensive stuff. That's a page right there. And then this is issue 22, page 8. And I just love it. What an incredible talent. I can't get that far enough that you'll see the whole thing. But there's some art, so that's a comic-related item. All right, so the next thing, I did a video the other day, and I showed off this Origin of the Spectre, and I talked about how I cut stuff out of comic books. If they're trashed beyond saving, I try to save what I can, and let me show you a little bit of this stuff, but I want to save one for last. These are basically the ads that we grew up with. I mean, at my age bracket, and I think Chuck and Lawrence were probably in a similar group, you know, when we were kids and money was scarce and we would go through the comic books and we would see these ads, I mean, these were things, we wanted to cut these out and mail them in and get stuff. Here's a flying helicopter, okay, for $1. Whatever it was, who cares? As a kid, you saw the chance to order something, you did. This is a 5-in-1 rocket. That was from 1959. This one's cool. They were selling Goodyear tires for bicycles. I thought was interesting. They got the Paperboy. You know, let's face it, he was taking that money probably to buy a Superman comic, right? And then here's more of the toys, which were always just incredible. Let me put that over here. I just loved them. You know, you'd read through the comic, but then you'd get to something like this and you would just dream. So whenever I get the chance, you know, I want to save what I can. It usually comes down to the ads. This is actually an ad for Brave and the Bold number 28, which is awesome. Introducing the Justice League of America. This is from 1960, and that came out. That comic came out in December of 1960. And there's some more of those. Here's an interesting one. This one, if you cut out the coupon, you got 2 tickets to Palisades Park, I think in New Jersey. Is that where that is? And so I wrote my little thing on there. I don't know if that's coming forward or backwards, what that says. There's an ant farm. By far my favorite one. I always wanted this Polaris sub. Anyone out there who happens to see this video, if you had the Polaris sub, please let me know. And then sometimes I'll just cut out if it's an interesting page. This was from Tales of Suspense 85 back in 1967. This was a free comic that was given to me. It was just trashed, but I kind of like that page. Orgo got there. And then I can show, I've got a bunch of these things, but here was a Batman Magic photo kit for $1. Let's see, what was this? These were like cars you could get. Here was a Loki pinup that was awesome. You know, I'd never cut out the pinups. I showed off that Captain America Bicentennial. I never cut those pinups out. But I always thought, oh, I want to cut those out. Anyway, that's enough of that. So the one that I was holding off for the end, we'll set these here, was this one, which had 100 toy soldiers. It was like a World War II, I think. You got 100 toy soldiers for $1.25. And so, as luck would have it, what do we have right here? We've got the case. We've got the box. See how it says property of right on there? Property of right there. So let's take a look. We ordered a few of these back in the day, and they were always disappointing. You know, you'd get them, but they were still cool. You still had them. There's an airplane. Here's a cannon. Okay, and you could set up little battles. There's a tank. And there's smaller airplanes. Let me move that back just a little. There's some male soldiers and there's some female soldiers. There's all kinds of things. Here's a truck right there. And, you know, we didn't have as fancy of things, but what we did was we made up with imagination. There's a little Jeep. And here's a battleship. Look at that guy. He's pretty cool. So these are some comic-related collectibles for you, Chuck and Lawrence. I hope you like them. Here's a guy, you know, we all know the plastic army men that we played with as kids that were a little more robust. Well, this is where it started, was with this stuff. Here's the bazooka guy. Right? You guys know what I'm talking about. Anyway, that's a comic-related collectible. There's your machine gunner. Okay, so I don't know where to put him. Maybe I'll put him in front of the ship. It's kind of hard to see him. Put him back there. The last one is a new acquisition. I did the LCS tour video of One Stop Comics, and I want to show one thing here. I have a part of that video, not to self-advertise, but a part of this video.
Right there. You just said it there. Speaking of war books, that's the classic Sergeant Fury.
You have number 56 in there?
In this particular run, no.
No, okay. I'm looking for a clean 56.
But we might have.
All right, so I showed that part in the LCS. I'm always looking for Sergeant Fury 56. This is what it looks like. I have a son named Gabriel, and so this says Gabriel Blow Your Horn on it. So it's always like, to me, one of the better issues. Anything with my kids' names, I want to collect those. So lo and behold, one of the other YouTubers by the name of David Ross commented back to me. He said, "Hey Dave, there's a couple of those Sergeant Fury 56s on eBay right now. You might want to check it out." And I went, and there were a whole bunch of them. And thank you so much, David Ross, because included among all the comic books for sale, this is the unboxing and unveiling of this particular item. I found this awesome piece of original production. This was part of the production of a comic book. They had these proofs that they would do, and this is the original, or one of the original Sergeant Fury 56. Before they did the cover, or maybe part of the cover, they had to print it off and they had to get it approved. So there's the inside and the outside. The pages are, I would say maybe cream, but it's amazing how this stuff survives. There's no staple lines in it. And frankly, David Ross, thank you so much. I just love it. So part of this long video, I want to encourage the YouTube community. Help each other out. It's an incredible thing that we have access to. Who would have ever thought YouTube could be what it is? I know other guys have talked about it, but you know, this was a big one, David Ross. So thank you for shouting it out. I would not have found this had you not told me about it. So that is certainly exciting for me. And my son someday will get that. We're going to get that one framed up and make sure that it's taken care of. And I'm going to cherish that item. But we're going to get back to the Go-To Geeks because this is a long video. And I just want to do a big shout out thank you to you guys. You do a great job, Chuck and Lawrence, with their videos. It's an incredible channel to watch and have access to and be part of. I really enjoy it. So anyone out there in YouTube land, if you're not subscribed to the Go-To Geeks, that's Silver Age Dave original artwork, by the way. If you're not subscribed to the Go-To Geeks, I got in the description down below, there's a link. Check them out. If you're not going to do the contest, still sub them up. I don't know where they are today, but they're probably half of what they should be. All right, with that, Silver Age Dave, bunch of stuff. Shout out to the Go-To Geeks. Silver is out.